The document generation wizard is located under the sales and purchasing modules. It's under the sales. Right here, the document generation wizard. I'm going to open it now. And of course, with all SAP wizards, you get an introduction screen with the next. It's like similar to like Microsoft. So the document generation wizard enables you to perform batch processing of target documents. So what that means is, at the end of the day, for example, that all of your deliveries that were created now need to be invoiced because they have been shipped out. So instead of copying each individual delivery to an invoice, we can just use this doc generation wizard to do it itself. So I'm going to click Next. So if you have an existing parameter set, which is basically a setting that we're going to go through each by steps 1 through 8, in my case, I'm going to create a new parameter set. So this is in the AR cycle now, so I'm going to create deliveries. So I'm going to go to Next. My target document is going to be delivery. So we're going to select posting date and document date. These are the normal fields you see on the document itself. They're on the top right, so you place them here. In this case, I'm going to leave them as today. And we are going to use an items type document instead of a service type. For those that don't know the difference, an item type document is using actual items, be it inventory or non-inventory. On a service type document, you are using direct debits or credits to general ledger accounts. Things like rent, for example, could be a service document unless you are actually paying the vendor. So let's go to the next screen here after everything's set up. So now we need to select a base document. Base document here, in our case, we're going to use sales orders. And you can select a date range or a delivery date range, and then or a series. And right now that would be a numbering series. If you had different numbering series, they would all be in that drop down. We could also decide whether or not we want to allow partial delivery. And then you have a sort field. In our case, we're just going to sort by document number. So after that, we're going to click Next, the next step. Then we have consolidation options. So you can consolidate documents by system defaults, which would be most of the time it's business partner. So if there's multiple sales orders for a business partner, you can they'll be consolidated, so all of your orders will go to delivery. You can do it by ship to address. So in the case that you do have a business partner that has multiple ship to addresses, you can combine them that way. And then payment terms and payment methods. There's also the expanded option here, and these would be drop downs in which you would choose to consolidate by. I'm going to leave that alone. So I'm going to just leave it as a system default. I'm going to click Next. Now we need to add the customers that we want to use. Now, if you're familiar with any of these wizards, there's always this period where you have to add customers. You can add a certain range of customers. You could add just one customer, or you can add all customers that have available open sales orders. So I'm going to click Add Customer. And I can either select a range here, or I can just hit Select All. So I'm going to hit Select All, and I'm going to click OK. So now we have every customer in the system, all 700 of them. Now, using Select All in some people's databases is not a good idea because you may have 30,000 customers. So, having the option to select a range of customers is probably the way to go. If you decided that you didn't need this many, you could hit the Clear Table and then go back in and add. So in my case, I'm going to select the top one here first. Then I'm going to choose the first 100 or so. Click OK. Now I want to click Next. So now you have messages and alerts. If there is missing data, you can tell the wizard to skip to the next document, skip to the next customer, or ask for user confirmation. So if you ask for user confirmation, you'll get a pop-up. So I'm going to select that for missing data, and I'm going to leave the others as is. So now it's the next step, step 7. This is where we execute. So you can actually save the parameters that we just created, so you can run it at multiple times. So if you had people, for example, that were in charge of a set of customers, you could always save them. They can just run this wizard every day, and it will only pick up their customers. You can just save the set and not execute, but in our case, we want to execute. So I'm going to click Next. So we have the system message. Running this wizard results in the creation of a number of documents. You cannot cancel this operation. Continue. So it's what it's saying is that it's going to create deliveries, and deliveries, of course, make journal entries. So we can't go in and cancel them after they've been created. So I'm going to click Yes to confirm, and now the generation starts. So since I selected user confirmation, it's it's telling me what's happening. So all these orders, the values in the target document will differ from base documents values, for those following fields. So if you're okay with this, you click Yes. So now we start getting errors. So what this means is some of these might have issues. So you have negative inventory issues. So if your database doesn't allow negative inventory, you obviously can't deliver the product. And then we have, for example, batch and serial number items. So this wizard will not work for those because you actually have to choose the batch number or the serial number for batch or serial managed items. Again, we have some more negative inventory, but here's one. Delivery 334 was created. So out of all that, because this is a demo database, and we all add orders and things, so we had one consolidated. So in the normal situation where all these parameters are met, you can you can save time. So like for example, this one here in line 3 says this was ready to create one delivery for all of these sales orders. So I'm going to click Finish. And one of the reasons why I do like to show the errors is, just so people know that it's the certain criteria have to be met, and it's a good thing because automatically creating a bunch of documents that can't be reversed could become a nuisance if there are problems ahead. So that is the document generation wizard.